The protest movement rocking college campuses in the United States is like nothing the country has seen for decades. The students hunkered down at 30-plus universities are demanding those institutions divest from companies that profit from the Israeli military. Judging by the violent backlash from militarized police forces, that kind of dissent against complicity in a genocide is off limits in President Biden's America. This movement is not just about students. Professors, faculty members are also involved, and they have been mischaracterized, at times demonized by the American political class and much of the news media. Treating anti-Zionist slogans as evidence of anti-Semitism, they have smeared the demonstrations as racist. For months now, American politicians and news outlets have been in lockstep, distorting the facts, helping Israel justify its mass slaughter of Palestinians in Gaza. And that same coalition has now effectively put targets on the backs of students, young American voices of dissent in the so-called land of the free. Divest or prepare for protest on your doorstep. That's the message American universities have been getting for 3 weeks now, from students demanding their schools sever all ties to any company profiting from the war on Gaza.
This is the New York City Police.
2 campuses on opposite coasts, Columbia in New York and UCLA in Los Angeles, have been the primary flashpoints, with 2 police forces having different responses. Disproportionate violence against the protesters in NYC. While in LA, when a pro-Israel mob attacked the pro-Palestine encampment with fireworks, metal rods, and pepper spray, police were nowhere to be found. When they finally showed up, they raided the encampment, firing rubber bullets and flashbang explosives at peace activists. The crackdowns came amidst some questionable media coverage in the U.S. that verges on the demonization of a pro-peace movement, with students somehow getting lumped in with previous threats to American democracy.
This does look like January 6th. What a terrible example for our students.
For news networks and television stations and anchors to use it to explain the protests that are happening at U.S. universities is a politicized, codified message that these are radical, fanatical groups. They need to be incarcerated, they need to be prosecuted and persecuted. There's no other solution to it.
Now, from our perspective as protesters, we were engaging in our civil liberties regarding free speech and the right to protest, and we were doing so in a peaceful manner. However, the actions of the government, the deployment of state troopers against peaceful protesters is an act of violence, specifically for political means. And the fact that my own government would take that stance against me and my fellow protesters for utilizing our civil liberties is just a catastrophe.